Hello everybody, my name is Big Citrus, and let me ask you a question. What's the greatest thing you've ever seen in your entire life? I have watched Dexter, Game of Thrones, Boardwalk Empire, The Wire, Mad Men, Barry, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Twin Peaks, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, BoJack Horseman, Lost, Succession, Community, Atlanta, and The Sopranos. Basically, all these shows wrapped up a little bit before or a little bit after Mr. Robot did, and in that time frame, none of them have come even close to surpassing it for me. With a few exceptions, I really do think Mr. Robot is the tippy top Everest, the bar that everything else must be measured to, and that is why with it finally coming out on Netflix after being stuck in Satan's anus on Prime Video for so many years now. And now I am here to make this video, which yes, is basically just an advertisement for the show. I'm not hiding that from you. But hold on, before you click off the video, just because this is gonna be me glazing Mr. Robot and telling you why it's the greatest show ever made, and if you don't like it, you're a fucking monkey. Look what happens to your career when you diss Mr. Robot.
As an OffSec specialist, how I could use Mr. Robot? I don't like Mr. Robot. I don't like Mr. Robot because they took some information that they should not have taken.
From a write-up that I did on some puzzles that I solved at DEF CON, and then they put them into an episode of the show, and I found out about it. And the only source for that knowledge was my write-up.
Maybe don't put things in your episode if you don't know what it is. Idiots.
Side note, I just want to say that if you're the kind of person who's going to look for accuracies in terms of the hacking components of this show and all the technical cyber engineering aspects, they put so much effort in to make every part of this show look real. For people who don't know what they're looking at, they're gonna think this is all legit, and for people who do know what they're looking at, you're gonna pause frame by frame and look at the little intricate details and see how much effort went into making sure that this was accurate as possible. If you're the kind of person who's gonna nitpick the one or two things this show got wrong out of 1,000, I don't really think that television shows are for you. The show focuses a lot more on its characters, its soul, and the unique world Mr. Robot has crafted that is still very similar to ours. The first season of Mr. Robot had a lot of breakout success, snagging a bunch of Emmy nominations and some Emmy wins, but unfortunately after the second season, the show kind of just fell off the face of the earth, receiving criminally low ratings. It might have been mostly due to the slow pacing of the second season really turning some people off, or it might be the fact that there's a lot of powerful people who don't want to give credit and attention to a show that takes aim directly at organizations that control everyone around them.
What if instead of fighting back, we cave, give away our privacy for security, exchange dignity for safety, trade in revolution for repression? What if we choose weakness over strength?
These are not the people that made our country great. These are the people that are destroying our country.
Even have us build our own prison.
It has amassed a pretty large cult following over the years, but still, for what this show says and does and the level of quality that it held every single episode to, I need this show to blow up more than I need fucking oxygen in my lungs. I need to preface this. There are things about Mr. Robot, created and written, mostly directed by Sam Esmail, that you may not like. It is a very, very heavy show. Mr. Robot really speaks to humanity more than any other show I've ever watched has. I just saw the James Gunn Superman. I loved it, by the way, and I really think that we do need messages currently with what's been going on in the world about how we as humans with our kindness and love can make a difference in the world. But is that what Mr. Robot's about? Yes, but like, no. Before I get any further, I also want to say I was turned on to Mr. Robot by a video made by Ralph the Movie Maker like fucking probably 8 years ago now. And I'm sure a lot of people who have watched the show and are watching this video saw that same video and it helped get them into the show. So I kind of want this video to be like a little sequel to that. This video is going to be very clearly split into two sections of non-spoiler stuff and then some spoiler stuff. Maybe by hearing actually what happens in the show and the specific crazy plot details, it might get you more sucked in. I knew the twist at the end of the first season and it still hit me like a truck the first time I watched it. So what are some reasons you might want to watch a TV show, and where does Mr. Robot succeed in those elements and how? A unique perspective. Before I get into the rest of this opening section, let me give a brief synopsis of the plot of Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot follows Elliot Alderson, cybersecurity engineer by day, vigilante hacker by night. He's coerced into joining a group called F Society, whose goal is to encrypt all of E-Corp's financial records, therefore freeing billions of people from the shackles of debt and taking down the biggest conglomerate in the world in the process. This group is led by JD from Heathers. Their plan does mostly succeed at first, but then things get a little rocky and hijinks ensue.
You don't have to do this!
Mr. Robot is the vision of one man, Sam Esmail. He originally wrote the show as a movie, but then realized, holy fuck, this is too long, this needs to be a TV show. And through Mr. Robot, we get some of the most unique characters that I've ever seen in a TV show, but they still feel like real people. Everything you see in Mr. Robot is simply through the eyes of Sam Esmail. He wanted to make a show that explored how technology has taken over every aspect of our lives. That might seem a little bit cliche nowadays, but you gotta understand, this show started getting worked on in 2014. Obama was still president. We didn't have AI organ fucking the internet like we do now. Bro, battle passes in like Fortnite didn't even exist yet. People were still using Skype at this time. So yes, it feels like a long time ago now, but the show stops hammering those themes at you really early on, because ultimately, while Mr. Robot is about the ills of society and how technology has slowly whittled away at our humanity, it's really a story about mental illness. And yes, how technology can provide comfort. Technology can kind of be a distraction, a coping mechanism for people who are mentally ill. This is exacerbated really well for a character like Dominic DePiro, who is constantly talking to an Alexa as if it's a real person instead of like, oh, I don't know, talking to anyone about how she feels or making some connections in her life.
Alexa, wake me up.
Sorry, I didn't understand the question you were asking.
Because I wasn't asking a question, you dumb bitch. Alexa, what's your favorite color?
Infrared is super pretty.
Alexa, do you have a boyfriend?
I'm not the dating kind.
Yeah, me too, hon. Alexa, are you happy? Alexa, do you love me?
That's not the kind of thing I am capable of.
The main villain of the show, White Rose, her entire plan hinges on technology. This desperate want to create some sort of alternate world or go back in time to a time when she was happier. And our main character, Elliot, kind of has his little CDs, these time capsules of people that are no longer in his life, and he revisits these pictures, these moments, these things he knew about them as a way to connect with them again. The show isn't always super cynical about technology, and I love that Sam Esmail never compromises his vision and what he wants to say about technology in this show. The show obviously also uses technology as a way to compare mental illness in a way that wasn't really being done at this time by anybody. Just the constant comparing of a failing mental state to a computer having processes terminated and bugs and glitches being detected is one of the key identities of the show, and it's crazy how you get to see this through the audio, the visuals.
Coach, you man, hold on, there's a bad boy.
I know, Leon's talking backwards. This isn't good. Internal fatal error, from which my system cannot safely recover.
I'm sure you've already noticed it from watching the clips so far, and it's the number one thing that basically everybody talks about when it comes to Mr. Robot, is the way everything is shot. It takes a lot of inspiration from movies and television shows that came before it that use this similar style of off-center, slanted angle framing to make characters either look larger than life or minuscule and worthless like ants. But it also has so many great shots of the environments in this show, really making it feel like you're looking into a bigger, more dystopian world. Todd Campbell is the director of photography, and he's talked at length about how working with Sam Esmail and trying to get into his head is a real mindfuck, but ultimately they were able to craft the most beautifully shot show of all time. It's crazy how in every season of Mr. Robot it all feels so different, but it feels like Sam Esmail's vision. But throughout all of these seasons we learn more about all of these characters, specifically Elliot and Mr. Robot, and develop their relationship with one another, and it's clear that that was always Sam Esmail's goal, to use the big hacker conspiracy taking down conglomerate plot to ultimately explore humanity. Mr. Robot is very focused on technology, but it is equal parts focused on humanity and the concept of people coming together to form a better world and just for happiness in general. As dark and depressing as this show can get, it makes sure to have some of the most relatable moments of comedy, and of course you have darkly hilarious moments of comedy.
Red blood mixed in with titty milk.
I just had the most messed up dream that Mom slugged me in the face.
Whole nation of Ireland makes my dick soft. I just gotta be real with you, bro. I shit myself.
Now, I'm on pace to be full manager. It almost makes up for them killing my mom.
The show starts from such a cynical and pessimistic angle, and then by the end, it legitimately fills you with so much warmth and hope. Because yes, while Elliot is a part of this resistance, has a goal to destroy E-Corp, his original goal in mind was to save the world. Elliot and the titular character Mr. Robot are our main characters. Elliot, yes, is this lonely, edgy hacker who hates society, and all of his juvenile views about the world and how humanity is past the point of saving and everything, don't really reflect who he is at his core. Elliot's not a malicious, violent person. Anytime he's given the opportunity where someone might be able to be hurt, but it will speed up the process of the mission, he doesn't do it. But Elliot has such a progression throughout the entirety of the show. The show is narrated by him, which I honestly think is fantastic, because with how fragile his mental state is, it would be really hard watching the show if we couldn't literally be in the head of this character. We, the audience, are his imaginary friend with him talking to us. We always feel like we're being let in on more than the other characters are let in on, for a time, until Elliot starts to wonder if he can really trust us, because so many things happen in the show that Elliot himself cannot tell if they are real or fake due to his dissociative identity disorder. It gets to the point where he can't even trust his imaginary friend. That's some low shit. The ways that Mr. Robot makes the viewer feel like they're there in the show with Elliot is just beautiful. Elliot's progression throughout the show is also really inspiring, because I would say by the end of the show, he probably has the most optimistic viewpoint on humanity and just the world than almost any other character. He genuinely learns that he can make a positive difference in the world despite feeling like he was just a nobody like everybody else. Mr. Robot excels at that. Speaking of Mr. Robot is genuinely one of the most insanely fun to watch antagonists, protagonists I've ever seen in a show. Look, the show flip-flops a lot. Just throughout the show, you never know exactly if we can trust Mr. Robot, but we do genuinely feel like he has Elliot's best interest at heart. Mr. Robot, of course, is revealed to be Elliot's dead father at the end of the first season, just a schizophrenic vision that Elliot has. And they use these parallels with technology, Mr. Robot and Elliot fighting for control of their own minds so perfectly. Mr. Robot is really just a virus that has taken over Elliot. It's interesting to see how Elliot sometimes has to embrace Mr. Robot to help people, and sometimes he must push him away in order to actually be a hero himself. I feel like the character of Angela Moss is one that I often see get glossed over completely in people's discussions of Mr. Robot. One thing I love about the character of Angela Moss is how it shows how trauma affects people completely differently. Like I said earlier, Elliot's father is dead. And that's how he met his childhood best friend, Angela Moss. Elliot's father and Angela's mother both worked at E-Corp when they decided to cover up a toxic waste scandal in their town that led to them both getting cancer and, you know, getting packed out. One of the key differences between Elliot and Angela is that Angela did not learn how to really move past the death of her mother. Sometimes when you're an adult and you finally have like a fully functioning brain and the weight of life is really barrowing onto you and it feels like you have no one to turn to, it all just starts to come flooding out how desperately you wish you could go back, even though that's never going to happen. Really see throughout the show, she craves approval, respect, and that's why she's always constantly trying to climb the corporate ladder. And then quickly she finds herself working at E-Corp, the place that killed her mother, the place that she knows truly deep down is evil, just because it gets her closer to a feeling of happiness in the world where people value her, people respect her. She has all this money and these nice things because she's just trying to fill the hole that is inside of her. And I love how it shows this contrast completely between characters like Angela and Elliot that you don't really get to see in a lot of fiction or media. I've heard some criticisms of Mr. Robot, people saying that White Rose and the Dark Army and everything, like their whole plan just being funding this multi-billion-dollar weird quantum mechanic machine, kind of takes away from the criticisms of the invisible hand controlling everyone. But I think it really does show how one insanely rich and influential person just simply wanting one thing, one very expensive goal, can completely ruin the lives of everyone on this planet because money is power in this world. Really quickly, I do want to talk about my personal favorite character in Mr. Robot, who is Tyrell Wellick.
So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater,
beside the white chicks.
Mr. Robot is definitely a very character-focused show. Characters are not necessarily reactionary to the story is reactionary to the characters in this show, which I really enjoy. That is incredibly apparent with the character of Tyrell Weller. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I had so much I wanted to say about the character of Tyrell. I literally had 40 minutes. I just decided to not put it in the video because ultimately this video is gonna be too long, and perhaps if I make a really long Mr. Robot retrospective one day, like detailing every single episode in the show, I will dive into this weird, mysterious, strange character. Is still incredibly enjoyable to watch. There's a ton of characters and small aspects of this show that I did not talk about, but obviously I want to leave some things out so you at least have some surprises still. But I would feel completely remiss if I did not mention the character of Darlene, masterfully played by Carly Shaken, and her relationship with Elliot is 100% the heart of the entire show. And I would get shot by diehard Mr. Robot fans if I did not mention the score by Mac Quayle. Mr. Robot baits and switches you constantly. You're not entirely sure if you can ever trust what Sam Esmail and the Mr. Robot team are doing. You're not entirely sure what you're seeing is real or fake, what you're meant to believe, what you're not meant to believe. It kind of puts you in the same state that Elliot's in, where you're not exactly sure if you can trust your own eyes, even to the point where seeing someone like Mr. Robot appear on the screen just feels like a fucking jump scare. Again, also Sam Esmail had a clear vision for how he wanted this show to be relevant to our current society. Yes, E-Corp's a fictional conglomerate. Minister Zhang is a fictional Chinese politician. But every time you're watching Mr. Robot, you're constantly thinking to yourself, yeah, that's probably how that would play out in real life, and it's crazy just how ahead this show was. Now, for people who are looking for a show to watch on their second monitor, I'm not necessarily sure this will be the best show, because simply put, when I watch this show on a second monitor, like another screen or something, I'm constantly turning my head over and I'm like, wait, this scene's fire, I gotta lock the fuck in real quick. Sometimes Mr. Robot episodes can feel a bit slow, but then randomly there will be a scene that builds off everything that episode has been building to, and all of a sudden you're like, like it's just like a perfect orgasm. Like it all feels worth it. Like the foreplay really got you off so much better from Sam. Like Sam, he's just got that tongue and finger game, you know. That was gonna be a GIF one day now. I would love to analyze this show because every scene, every shot, every line of dialogue serves a purpose in the story, and so many of them can be analyzed ad nauseum because of the level of love and depth that went into crafting a story and characters that are honestly timeless. If you haven't watched it already, get the fuck on it. The pilot episode of Mr. Robot's literally one of the best pilot episodes ever made. I feel like by then, the show's style, especially with its great editing and soundtrack choices, I've found so much good music from Mr. Robot, by the way. I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos about TV shows, pop culture things on this channel. I just want to discuss things that I have a passion for and that I have a love for and that I need to share with people. Like, I'm not gatekeeping my special interests. You will be forced to know about them. That'll basically be what this channel is designed for. So Patreon, community, Discord, Twitter, go ahead, follow me and all those things below. I've been Big Citrus, and have a damn good one.